Junior's holding exactly one of Sho's hair tentacles. Oh dear, it's as I feared. I thought perhaps that I had been mistaken in thinking that that was your danger wiggle, but I see I was not.
So, Yoshi, you're able to defend yourself, I presume.
Why, I am a man of the land.
Me too, actually. I'm a farmer.
Sho is sitting there like, kneeling, still sipping from her cup. She's poured herself some tea at this point and is now drinking that. Now, June's a lot of things. He's loud, his voice grates like a drill, and he's also the very first person who ever beat me in a fight. She says, finishing her cup.
Really?
Oh, please. I'm quite positive you hadn't eaten in a fortnight.
Something you guys are only just now noticing is that in the fire, a great Tetsubo has been just sitting on the fire, heating up more and more, so now it's just red hot. Well, tea's done. If you'll excuse me. Let's see here.
You know that right behind in the back there are two individuals making a slow approach.
I got a fun idea. If you'll excuse me, Sho. He waits right here, and the moment this guy walks by the window, he's gonna reach out with one hand, grip his skull like a coconut, and pull him through and throw him through this wall.
Oh god, alright. You reach forward, grab his head, pull him through the window, and toss him through the tatami mat wall, onto the table, knocking over the sake. He is unconscious. These guys are like, what the hell?
Sho is going to, she sit down, she finishes the cup of tea, and then just very, very, very slowly walks over, picks up the container, that was stored in this room, and throws it to Junya. You're gonna need this.
What is it a container of? Oh,
it's your umbrellas.
It's
What the hell are these?
Ew, dump them in the fire.
Sho very slowly leans through the hole in the wall, makes eye contact with the three in here, and just goes, "Hey, so are you gonna fight me all at once or one at a time?" She places her hand on her sword, because I think I'd prefer all at once. And then she's just gonna swing.
Alright. That's what you're gonna get, is what he says as you prepare to fight. So yeah, you slice through him, and instantaneously he just collapses back against this guy as well. Instantly incapacitated.
I'm
just cut straight through.
I'm gonna pass the turn both thematically and physically to Junya.
He just spends a little while kind of like flipping through the items in this container. Well, he pulls about one handle like halfway. No. Oh, what am I to do? You there, ruffian.
Which one are you pointing at?
To this guy.
Oh, you point past the two bodies on the table, and this guy like, huh? What? He has his sword at his ready, kind of struggling to look between the two of them.
I need an unbiased opinion. Oh no, I'm underneath everything in this room.
I need an unbiased opinion. Wiggles under the table.
Yeah. He looks.
I need an unbiased opinion. This one? This one? This one or this one? Which would you say?
He pulls out his sword when you pull out the gold one and goes to attack you.
Yellow? Well, I suppose I did ask for your opinion. So as this guy rushes up, Junya pulls a switch in the parasol that causes it to fold up like inversely and expose the underside end of the pole, which is a sharp hooked blade. The entire thing is a naginata, and in one motion he's going to sweep it down and up into this man's gut.
He moves forward, and you just plunge the blade forward, goes straight through his chest, and he collapses back down, falling through the window. The last one, fuck this! He tosses his blade down.
No, you were right, yellow. Yes, definitely yellow.
And one more toss over, back to Hideo.
Yeah.
Hideo is actually going to, he looks ahead at the guy who's wiggling the head of the other guy off of the spear, and he's going to take the shuriken that he had palmed in his hand earlier, toss it at the guy's neck as he reels back to punch this guy in the face. What he's really doing is hoping that the shuriken lands in the neck, and as he's punching the guy in the face down on the ground, is going to grab the shuriken and palm it again.
Okay, gotcha. What a powerful punch.
Yes. And so...
Alright, you toss it in, and you move forward, and you punch in, you palm it. He falls back, clutching his chest as blood pours out. And then the guy above here goes wide-eyed. He just punched a hole in his neck!
And then I just step out. Your turn?
He looks frightened. Meanwhile, back in here, this guy, hey, I give up, don't worry. As he drops his blade on the ground. Can you let me pass?
Then where will you go? What will you do?
Anywhere but here.
Good enough, I suppose.
Alright, he makes to go past you. And then suddenly, from his sheath, he pulls out a dagger and attempts to stab you through the chest.
Dick!
I think Junya, he's like, alright, you can go. So he backs up to, get out of most of the doorway and does, he closes his eyes and does, a slight bow and hand gesture directing him out, which causes him to duck below the knife as it whizzes above his head, and it's not clear whether he even noticed that happened.
He kind of sweats a bit.
You're still here.
You notice he has a knife in his hand.
Oh dear. My dear boy, is that how it's going to go?
Sho takes a look around the room. She notices the bottles of sake and a single bottle of water. She's gonna take a step forward, and she doesn't notice any foes, directly in front of her, but she does see out the window this guy over there. So she is going to, she's gonna try to kick the table in such a way that it flings up into the air, and then with the pommel of her sword, send it rocketing towards this guy on the outside.
Okay, sounds fair. You kick up the table and knock it forward. It clashes against the, or crashes at least, against the wall and knocks forward. And flying out from the wall, the impact, the bottle of warm sake flies through the window and slams into this guy's head, cracking against him, and as he falls to the ground unconscious.
Sho, the second after that impact, she lets all the bottles fly where they may, catches the one bottle of water that was left to this group, takes a few steps backwards, literally tags Buru back in, "You're up, big guy," and then throws the water on the open fire. This is a real fire hazard.
The fire goes out safely.
She pours herself a cup of tea.
This man watches in horror as the ring happens with this window as I crawl out of it. Right. So, I'm really sorry to do this, but Buru notices this man way the hell down here. With my heated up Tetsubo, I'm gonna wind up baseball bat swing this guy in the back of the head and try and launch him into this guy. I know that's far south.
He can't succeed no matter what he does. So you swing and like a baseball bat, his body flies over in this direction. Now make that second flash attack against the bandit.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Yeah, okay, so.
The Buru train has no brakes.
Oh, he impacts, the both of them collapsing into just a mess on the floor. All of them just dissembled in pain. The man looks down. Oh, A big, strong guy. Well then. Tomokami pulls out one of his many blades on his back in each hand, and he simply looks in that direction. Rao, you go check it out. I'm guarding the gate. Yes, boss. Rao steps up. Enemy turn. Rao kind of moves a bit, and he pulls up his sides, and he moves as far as he can move, slipping forward, and then he tosses the scythe to his max length and tries to slice at Buru with them.
I catch the chain, and I'm gonna reel him in like a fish.
Oh shit!
Just
Once
reel
he
him
gets to me-
into your fist.
Yeah, basically just clothesline him at the end. And once he gets here and he's borderline knocked out, Buru pulls out his smoke again and lights the smoke with his heated up Tetsubo. I want a bigger man.
He collapses onto the floor, instantly going incapacitated. Across from him, you see the man with the swords. Well, come on over here then! Meanwhile, Hideo, you noticed freaking out from around the corner, one guy peeks below you with a bow, and he tries to fire the arrow directly at you.
Time to be a Rojin hero!
Hideo, you feel suddenly an arrow go loose and strike right into your, shoulder blade.
Oh.
You hold that, and sitting there, that was the unexposed one. He kind of looks, smiles a bit that you can bleed, and then, oh shit, again, and passes on, because that was
Oh shit!
Right down from you, you see some guy, what's all this ruckus? The one at the entrance starts walking towards that direction. He's walking. That's his turn.
Oh my god, be careful of this guy.
Oh boy.
He taps his sword on his shoulder a bit as he continues to approach. Now it's player turn.
Yeah, so, Junya notices, like, oh hey, like, did Sho clear out all of the drinks from this room?
Yes.
He, Well, I never did get my tea, so I suppose this will have to do. Junya picks up a bottle of sake from the ground. Now, you there, if you're not going to leave, well, I'm afraid I'll have to insist. So he extends his parasol that's currently in, like, Naginata form, whips it behind this guy, past the dagger in his outstretched hand, and then activates it in the other direction, so the umbrella goes like and flips back down and vaudeville canes this man into the fountain.
Oh god, yeah, I see what you mean. You vaudeville toss him into the fountain, he cracks his skull on the stone, and then just kind of floats head face first into the fountain.
I like to imagine, like, because it's a pretty small fountain, that he, like, hits the edge and his body's just, like, an ass in the air position, and Junya just sits down on this man to begin drinking some sake.
Oh god.
Oh, and I guess I get to pass it to someone. I'll pass it to Sho.
Sho's gonna walk out, she's got the teapot, she's gonna just almost silently offer Junya a cup of tea and keep walking.
Oh, excellent, one in each hand.
About to get crunk.
She walks out, sees Hideo out here. Hey, you okay?
Huh? I'm just fine. Thanks for asking. There's an arrow.
Yeah, you gotta. She kind of like reaches to grab at it. Actually,
It's a little small. And weak. and weak, Hideo says loudly. Also, like, there's just, like, no betrayal of pain on his face whatsoever.
That's a lot of blood.
Yeah.
That's all Sho's got for her turn. Oh wait, no. Sho's just gonna see that, like, take a step forward. She stands almost in front of Hideo. You seem fine, but I'll do whatever I can to help. She places her hand down on her down on her sword and closes her eyes and seems to focus in completely for a second. I'm going to use the stance of the transient sting and lock in a color for next turn.
I see. Very well. The guy right here, he kind of moves up to try to attack you instantly, coming in with the sword.
Sho just quietly sidesteps him and trips him, like she's moving as little as possible.
He collapses onto the floor between you and kind of hits the dirt there and kind of just scrambles a bit, losing his sword. He doesn't know where it is, kind of discarded, and he looks between you two and just tries to skitter away and flee. And thus, the clash continues. You can pass it over, probably to Hideo.
Oh yeah, no,
definitely Hideo.
That was their turn, and I won, so it just ends. Like now, it's just player turn.
Oh yeah.
So
Yep,
yeah.
you're right. Wait, but there is one thing.
Oh shit.
Bunji moves.
Bunji.
Step, ends his turn.
The Aurora's... I just like keep on looking at him and just thinking in my head, the Aurora Borealis Samurai.
Sho like motions with her head to that guy there. You're the legendary duelist. Do you want to try him?
Yes. Yeah, I've got this one. Hideo steps forward, finally actually drawing his own katana. He pulls it out. You'll forgive me if my swing isn't as strong as it should be. He looks over at this guy. Just like hatred and malice in his eyes.
He drops his bow and flees. He jumps inside of the little shack and just hides in there. And you get a clash, so you can instantly duel with this man if you'd like. He says, not a problem. He unsheathes his own blade and drops his sheath down to the ground and holds his sword forward at you.
Alright. I'm going to stand my ground and I'm going to pass my turn to Buru.
Ooh, nice.
Alright, sounds good.
Over there.
Alright, so... Buru...
Last guy is the one at the gate, and Bunji.
Yeah, no, Buru has built up a shit ton of momentum at this point. As you may have noticed, or actually no one's around to see it, Buru is continuously moving. Every time he swings or punches or anything, he uses the weight of that attack to actually spin and continue the motion. So after he reels this guy in, he's going to use that kind of reel up to then try and propel himself as far as possible at this guy. I don't know if I'd be able to get in range. That's pretty far.
Yeah, it might be a little far, but you can at least start making the approach and lock in red.
Yeah, so if that's the case, what I'll do then is instead of going the double movement, with this guy still reeled on the chain, I'm just gonna just try and whip him back.
You use this man like a weapon and toss him forward on his chain. Tomokami looks, and then, Ralph falls there, and he kind of implants himself on the spiked edge of this lantern, and he's like, he kind of stumbles forward. He already looks almost done for.
Come on, big man, let's play.
Well. How's everything going? He looks at Sho and then at Hideo.
June, shh, they're having a duel.
Oh, how droll. He looks at Hideo and sees the arrow in like his shoulder. Oh.
Don't touch it!
Tell me, who did that?
He ran away already.
Pity. Junya is going to... He sees this guy trying his best to become relevant. Yeah, he's gonna, assuming this guy was running up to attack Hideo, Junya kind of like, appears behind him and is like, oh, oh goodness, save me, my bodyguard. And then, like, as this guy gets close, he's gonna whoop and swap places with him and strike at this guy himself.
Oh, Bunji, as you move forward with the umbrella, Bunji ducks down under it and slices up, chipping into the umbrella handle as he kind of elbows into you, shoving you aside. You take 3 damage as he knocks you on your ass.
Lord!
And then his turn comes, and he moves forward again. With the sword raised, he goes in for a slice, attacking you directly. Hideo.
Yeah, we're clashing pretty hard for a second, and Hideo's actually struggling really hard to keep up and, make it look good. And at one point during the fight, while our eyes are locked in combat, Hideo's eyes widen and he says, "Oh no, behind you!"
He kind of, he turns very slightly and instantly realizes, wait, this is a trick, and he tries to pull back to block
and
you
I
again.
just I just stab him, just right through.
He snubbed.
No fair.
Blood pools out, staining against his kimono as he collapses against the floor, clutching his wound. His sword drops to the side.
Sorry, pal, my mistake. And I pull it out.
He collapses against the floor.
Show claps.
Dope.
Same stoic expression. Wow.
Tomakami steps forward. You bastards! I'll tell you what, you're no match for me, Tomakami! He swings his swords around, and like a javelin almost, he tosses one sword at Buru from over where he's standing.
Oh, shit.
Buru, still in motion, hanging onto the chain, actually whips the chain up so it in between the links, the blade gets caught, and then spinning around, throws it back handle first, so it just clocks him in the
He
head.
falls to the ground unconscious.
Oh God!
Sho slowly exhales and her stance becomes unrigid and begins to flow again. And she sort of cricks her neck and whatever she was doing just stops and dissipates. Guess it's not time quite yet. That was great work. Come on, June. She pulls him to his feet.
Junya is sitting almost in a stupor in the dirt.
She picks you up, puts you back on your feet. Hold on. She spits in her hand and wipes away dirt off of your face with her thumb.
No, leave it.
The man from the end kind of comes out. He's grasping onto his daughter and kind of looks at you. What's going on? Is this...
Buru comes barreling around the corner with too much momentum, crashes into this light post, and just keeps tumbling. No.
Still working on that holding back thing, eh?
No. The rolling hill style, the whole point of it is you don't hold back at all. Excuse me, sir. And just steps over.
Buru, you said a long time ago that the rolling hills have no end. I decided to test that. There is an ocean over there. She points in that direction. You just keep going long enough, you find one.
Right, but maybe the hills are deep within the ocean, too.
She looks absolutely flabbergasted at this for half of a second, regains her composure. Yeah, I'm gonna need to think about that.
No!
My lord, you really ought to be careful.
Junya is white knuckle gripped around this umbrella, which the one competent guy managed to take. He chipped part of the staff with his blade. Oh. Oh. Tokujin! It's over between us. Everything that might have been, you have destroyed with this act of wanton stupidity. Oh, no, sir.
Hideo dissociates.
Hey, Hideo, you okay there? It looks like you got
hit pretty
Yeah, there's just an arrow sticking out of him, and he's just got
doing all right.
that expression on his face. He hears Buru come up. Yes, I'm fine. It'll be okay. It's just a bit of a scratch for a powerful guy like me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm well aware. Looks like they got a cheap shot on you.
Yes.
I can't believe people would use such dirty tricks in a fight.
Yeah. What a real bastard. And then he turns around and just walks in.
Sho takes a step forward and looks up to Buru.
Please wait here. The innkeeper runs around the corner to the store.
Are you unharmed, my dear?
Yeah, I'm fine. And she looks a little scared, but she's also kind of fascinated by what you did. She just kind of seems to stare directly at you. Very creative.
He just suddenly comes back to life. You have impeccable taste.
Oh boy.
The man comes back, seeing your general mood swapping 100%. He's like, he goes over with a medical pouch and cuts open the arrow and tries to help remove it from Hideo.
Hideo,
sitting down real quick.
Hideo continues to dissociate while going through the arrow.
Just want to apologize for the damage we may have caused to your building.
Ever since that woman came to town, Tokujin's been even more aggressive. He hired those bandits back in too. What was he thinking? Goodness. He rubs his forehead. The general innkeeper persona that's been on his face for a while kind of drops for now. Oh my goodness, this is a terrible time.
Well, all the same, I don't like being in debt to anyone. And Buru pulls out what is basically the rest of his money and hands it over to the innkeeper.
The daughter collects it for him and kind of puts it in their little chest they've got hidden, unlocks it, puts it down. Thank you. Times are rough. He kind of gestures around. You can see the streets, it's so empty and quiet. I'm sorry you had to be raveled into our whole affair.
No, I understand all too well now. Now I see. It's Tokujin. He has seized the beauty from this place to use for his own callous devices.
Yeah, a second ago when you thought he swapped, actually he can have like two emotions rattling in his brain at once. Just wandering past. Now, you said something about a woman visiting town. Is she still here? Is there anyone else up in that castle?
No. Tokujin, the boy, and the generals, the guards, everyone left.
They strong?
Yes. I believe so. There's at least 50 of them, at minimum. And maybe more if he's hired more. The captain has a terrible sword technique and everything. Please, you've got yourself in enough trouble trying to help us. You don't have to do this.
No, I'm afraid it's a lost cause. That's her mind is made up, Wiggle.
No. Buru like grabs the back of your scarf and is like, hang on there, Showboat. We need to make sure. I understand your interest in real fight. Believe me.
She's wandering at the exact, perimeter that she can reach.
But we should try and handle this tactically. You walk in there, just like out in the open, they might have archers and they'll take you out. No honor in that.
She stops.
Buru just pats you on the head. I'm not trying to discourage you, I'm just trying to make you think. You can't just dive in there.
She thinks very hard.
Alright. And, yeah, sure. Technically, this doesn't need to be our responsibility, but I feel like, out of principle, it needs to be dealt with.
Thank you. I know that the people of the village will very much appreciate that. And I can tell you that if you do succeed, if you can defeat all of those men and bring Tokujin to justice for all he's done to us and to you, I can tell you for sure that we'll throw a great party in your honor. I'll pull out my best sake, and I have some finery I could give to you as well. Anything. I would love to honor you for all you could do. All you've done.
Party isn't important. Listen, if somebody sends somebody after you, they'll just keep coming and coming and coming until the person at the top dies. It's that simple, so we gotta make sure to cut off the head and resolve everything now, or else it'll bug us for the next few years.
Sho. I agree with your broader point, but please don't ever let me hear you say that parties are not important in my presence.
She leans around. Junya, parties aren't important to me. They're immensely important to him.
My lord, I believe our vacation includes a party over at Tokujin's castle.
Oh.
As you say, you all look at the open gate in front of you.
And we're the entertainment.